McClintock.
Hail to the chief.
All right, guys, I'd like to thank everybody for coming here today, for their love and support, for coming out to celebrate with me and my family and all my men and women of B Group my retirement. I'd like to first thank the good Lord for healing me and allowing me to be here to fulfill my career with the Jersey City Fire Department. He really took care of me, and He's allowing me to move on. And I'd like to thank the Lord for that. And also, I'd also like to thank my beautiful wife, Tara, for always being there and supporting me in my career, because without you, sweetheart, I would have never been able to do it. To my family, my son Joe, my daughter Melissa, my daughter-in-law Kimber, and of course my grandson Rocco. You see pictures of him over there. He's at school, he couldn't be here today.
No hooky playing for Rocco?
No hooky playing. My brother Bob, he's making an appearance. This is a one-time only. Retired captain, 6th truck. His wife Jackie, his son Robert, and his daughter-in-law, and his grandson, Thomas. Unbelievable. I'd like to thank them all. My cousins, Billy, my cousin Judy, her daughter Victoria, my cousin, oh my God, her husband Randy, Jennifer and Randy. You know, this is, you know, I've never really had a problem with a microphone, you know, for all those years of DJing, but sometimes it's tough trying to remember everybody and everything. But guys, thank you for being here today to celebrate this retirement. So what a career it's been. You know, I'm the last of the class of 1988, the last of the Mohicans. And, you know, I started my career 1988 on B Group. And I'm ending my career on B Group. My first bid was at 20 Engine, you know, which is where Rescue and Squad are currently. I had the pleasure of working with Battalion Chief Pete Greasy, Battalion Chief Glenn Yankowski, Battalion Chief John Bowen. You see where I'm going with this? Captain Jay Anthony, Captain Mike Conlon, and our captain was Bob Butch Cobb. So we had a lot of experience, a lot of fires that year. Back at 20 engine, 5 truck. And then I left there and went to 1 truck on Group A. Chief George Johns was the captain. My brother Bob was there, Jimmy Morris, Mike Moselle, a bunch of other guys. And then 4 months later, they disbanded the company. So I got shipped to C Group, and then wind up eventually getting the bid at my home 9 engine on C Group with Captain Jack Barrington, who's Battalion Chief Barrington. He was our captain. We had Battalion Chief Jack Burns, who's a battalion. We had Tim Foy, Stan Tominski, Stosh, Kenny Emick, and myself. And then eventually Timmy Foy got promoted, and we got Rich Casella. Timmy Foy wound up being a deputy chief, Rich Casella wound up being a deputy chief, and myself. Stosh was the only one that never made the grade, but what a great guy, what a great fireman. We had a lot of time, a lot of good times there, a lot of fun, a lot of fires. Again, the last in the class of '88. So just so you know, John Bowen was the first one to make it to captain. I was the first one to make it to battalion chief. And Richie Casella was the first one to make it to deputy chief. And then my career shifted after 9/11 and decided to bid the rescue. And I spent 5 years there with Captain Dennis Harris, Frank DeBickey, Mark Petroselli, and Al Torres. Al and Mark would become captains, and Frank DeBickey, my classmate from 1988, would become a battalion chief. We had a lot of good times there together at rescue. You've seen a lot of fires, and it took me 20 years to get promoted to captain, and then 2 years, 11 months to battalion, and then a couple more years to be deputy. But I can honestly say, I'm speechless. I can't believe it's finally going to be over. Finally getting the bid here on B Group, which was really awesome. I filled in a lot for Paul Drennan while he was off before I got the bid, before he retired, and had a lot of fires. And the guys seemed to really be tight, a good family, and that's something I've always experienced on this job. Was a good family, and that's what I found here on B Group, and with all my men and women. I'll tell you what, wind up having a lot of fires, and especially the record, the 7-alarm fire. So that was pretty good there. What's awesome is I can honestly say in my career as a battalion and as a deputy, when we pulled up and we had 2 buildings or 3 buildings on fire, that's where it ended. That's the type of firefighter Jersey City has. Okay, the firefighter that wants to go to work, that wants to do the job, and do a heck of a job. And I'm very proud to have served the department and eventually to serve as your chief. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for a job well done. I'd also like to thank the past and present members of the Gun Club, R26, for their dedication to the job of serving the members of the FDJC, especially Mr. Paul Schetzel, Mr. Pat and Connie Spellman, Mark Wallace, and a bunch of other people I'm probably going to forget, but I'd like to say kudos to the Gun Club because, guys are always there for us, especially when the stuff hits the fan, so they deserve a big round of applause. Special thanks go out to my buddy, my classmate Larry Curidan, Mr. Ron Jeffers, and my C group mate, Gil Roland, for always being here for us guys, taking pictures all the time, whether it's at retirement parties or at multiple lawn fires. You can always count on you guys to take extraordinary pictures and put out there the type of work and the type of things we do. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. So lastly, to everyone, especially all my men and women of B Group, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because that's what I'll really miss. Most of all, is all of you. Guys, thank you very much.
Chief, one more thing. Everyone's attention, please. Have ladder 6, engine 6, and squad 1 up here. It took some time to think about a proper gift for Chief, since he has so much memorabilia. Recently, he was giving away all his memorabilia to white clothing that he reposed. That is something very unique. And Chief, it's on behalf of all people, everyone, all of you. Happy retirement, Chief.
Just want to give you this little gift now.
Chief.